Speaker, I also had the opportunity to get to know Governor Marie Bashir when I was a minister in the last Labor government, and also a member of Parliament in the last government, and I want to reflect on a bit of that. But first, before I do, can I also pass on my condolences to the family who are here today with us. I have to say, condolences is a sad thing, but really it's about celebrating a remarkable life, an incredible life. And I feel that that's what we're doing here today, most importantly, because this is a person whose contribution to our state is really, as we've heard from the Premier, the Opposition Leader, the member for Lane Cove, the Leader of the House, so many people have amazing memories of the things which Marie Bashir achieved over her lifetime, over her 95 years. And if any of us can go in any way close to the things that she was able to achieve, I think we'd all be very satisfied with our lives and with our legacy. It is something which I always thought was fabulous about Marie, was that she did grow up in Narrandera, and she never forgot her links to the country New South Wales. When I first came into the Parliament as a dark-haired young bloke in 2003, hasn't been here the whole time, unlike the member for Lane Cove who came in at the same time. But it struck me that she took such a great interest in some of those small regional communities. And one of my first experiences, obviously, as governor, she was there when I first got introduced, as new members of Parliament often are, trotted down to Government House to meet the Governor, and introduced by people with remarkable memories for the list of names that they're introducing. But one of my first experiences was when she made the trip to Adaminaby in the Snowy Mountains, small town. Adaminaby is famous for having been moved over the dividing range when the Snowy Mountains scheme was put in place. She came all the way down there to unveil the stage curtain at the Adaminaby Hall, which was the product of this incredible embroidery by locals over many years to actually produce this curtain. And the Governor coming to Adaminaby was one of the highlights for the town for some years. And it really was a special occasion to see how she handled that and the way that she talked to people and the sort of work that she did. In 2006, Governor Bashir came to delegate on the Victoria-New South Wales border. Again, a fairly small town, south of Bombala on the border. And she was there to unveil a plaque to celebrate, or to actually acknowledge, the Black Allen line, which is the surveyed line between New South Wales and Victoria. And interestingly, it had been discovered just prior to that the Black Allen line had actually, because of a dispute between Victoria and New South Wales, never actually been formally proclaimed. So Governor Bashir was able to do the formal proclamation and come down and unveil a plaque on the border there. Again, something which to this day is remembered in Delegate. And I know that because just last year I went down to Delegate to unveil the replacement for the original plaque, which was stolen by some strange person who obviously had interesting taste in souvenirs. But the fact that the Governor Bashir plus Governor Landy from Victoria had both come to this fairly remote community to undertake that event was something which still stuck in the memories of all the people there, and it was certainly a wonderful occasion. The Premier mentioned the floods in Grafton, where Governor Bashir was there and offered her skills with the broom. I believe I might have been Emergency Services Minister in those floods and was there at the same time, and again was just always so impressed by her ability to talk to people, to comfort people in difficult times as they face those sort of crises. It was just another amazing thing. I did look at the ABC website's obituary for Dame Marie Bashir, and I can only agree where they said the life of Dame Marie Bashir was simply extraordinary. There is so many things which she achieved prior to her time as governor, which others have gone into: her medical commitment, the work that she did, the work that she did for children in the medical system, the things which first brought her to prominence, I think, as somebody who gave so much to our communities. it is something which you rarely come across people who have that sort of commitment. I also had the great pleasure of meeting Sir Nicholas on a number of occasions while I was a minister, and was always just so impressed with the team that they made, with his jovial way he went about things, but also very serious achievement in the work that he did over the years as well. It was something which was a great pleasure. The member for Lane Cove talked a bit about the privilege that ministers have of going to the Executive Council and then sometimes being invited for breakfast afterwards. And it was certainly a highlight of my visits to Executive Council when we got to have breakfast with Governor Bashir. The conversations around the table went from talking about things that were happening in rural New South Wales, challenges which communities face, to conversations about history and her great interest in Governor Macquarie, and talking about some of the readings and work that she'd done in that space, to the point of seeking information. There was at one stage a statue of Governor Macquarie in the forecourt of Parliament House, just over near where the exit is at the moment. And when the security upgrades are all done, that statue was taken away, and Governor Bashir took a great interest in what had happened to that statue. It was in storage at the time, but it's now back up at the end of Hyde Park, I believe, so restored to a rightful position overlooking Macquarie Street. But we just had some wonderful conversations there, and again, similar experience to the member for Lane Cove. When I was sworn in as a minister in 2009 for the first time, my children, who were then quite young, came to the swearing in. My son in a wildly inappropriate T-shirt that said something like outlaw or renegade or something like that. I don't know. He looks at the photo now and is embarrassed, but it was a lovely occasion. My daughter, who was intrigued by Government House and was sort of poking a nose around, to the point where the Governor organised, or took her, I think, even on a tour of of Government House, and she remembers that to the day. And when she came back from my swearing into this ministerial position, she commented on the fact that she'd had the tour of Government House at the time, and Governor Bashir was responsible for that, and I think may have actually accompanied her around on some of it. So just a wonderful person. And I do again remember, she had a lovely way of making everybody feel welcome. I remember arriving at Exco one day with Linda Burney, and Governor Bashir looked at us both and said, "I've hit the jackpot today." And that really, just a knack for making people feel very valued and that they are welcome with her. So I'm like so many others in this place, had the privilege of coming across Dame Marie Bashir in just a small part of the things that she did for our community. But that impression has stuck with me to this day, and it's one that I value very much. Her memory will be long in the memories of New South Wales, and I also add my condolences to all of you in her family on her passing.